All right, welcome everybody to the Grand Forks City Council meeting for January 5th, 2026. It's a new year. Maureen, roll call, please.
Weigel.
Here.
Osowski. Here. Berg. Here. Lenski. Here. Friedels.
Here.
Veen. And President Sandy.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, just one announcement, item 1.3, mayor's announcements. Just kind of a public service announcement. During the ordinance day this week, the street department's going to be bringing in motor graders, so definitely make sure that you get your cars off the streets because they're going to get the curbs back. So right now, obviously, we've got snow that's kind of getting into the road, so this week will be a big one to gain back the whole width of the road, so just be aware of that and make sure we got the cars off of the streets for that. That's all I've got for mayor's announcements, so pretty quick one today. We'll move on to item 2, awards, presentations, appointments, and proclamations. There are none. Item 3, public hearings and second reading of ordinances. There are none. Let's move on to 4, citizen comments. Any comments this evening, Ms. Lundmark?
I have one, Craig Spicer.
Mr. Spicer, please.
Council members and Mayor Bochinski. Thank you. Again, council members and Mayor Bochinski. A few items to address on the Agristo Potato Plant project. Some comments and questions. Connected with the stormwater pond, the existing Foufon pond, and the new Agristo pond or ponds. After an inspection of myself for over the last month or so, we noticed that there was a secondary pond that was adjacent to the Fufang pond or city pond, whatever you want to call it. And that pond is not quite as large, but almost. And there are culverts that enter and leave that pond, probably 5-foot culverts round. And then on my last visit to the project, I noticed there was another pond. And in that pond, there was also culverts that were connected to the second pond, if you want to call it, which is the Agristo pond. So, moving on. Did the city have to authorize Agristo to connect to the existing pond previously owned by Fufang and then by the city of Grand Forks subsequently was purchased back from Fufang? If the answer is yes, can I get some information and a copy of that request, request a copy and approval of that document? Mr. Phelan? Can you answer that?
Please continue, Mr. Spicer.
He can't take questions?
So comment period, please continue.
Comments. Thank you. I will. So, was there a separate permit required to tie the Agristo pond to the Grand Forks pond? And if yes, can I get some documentation or evidence of that? Did the city of Grand Forks receive or going to receive any money directly related to the joining the two ponds together? And if so, is that document available also? Was it always Agristo's intent to join the two ponds together, or did it just make sense because of the existing pond already being there? You can't answer any of these, Todd? All right. Anybody else want to address that? Had the pre-existing pond not been built, would Agristo have to build its own pond? Is there any agreement or pending agreement between the city of Grand Forks
Thank you, Mr. Spicer.
and
That's your
Agristo to
3
pay
minutes.
an annual, quarterly, or monthly fee
Mr. Spicer, your
city of
time's
Grand
been
Forks.
completed. Please sit down, sir.
for the connection of the two pre-existing ponds? My time's up already?
Yep, thank you for your
Can I
time.
see that? I didn't see it. Where's the clock?
There's one up here. There's one up there.
All right, I only had a couple more anyway. And Thank you, because I knew that there would be no answering from, there's no interaction.
Okay, thank you,
from the
Mr.
city
Spicer.
council
Mr.
to the
Lundmark,
city
Ms. Lundmark, is there any other comments
voters.
this evening?
Thank you.
No, I don't have any other comment cards.
All right, thank you. We'll move on to 5, action items. Any items council wanted pulled this evening for further discussion?
Yeah, 5.1, 5.2, and 5.10.
Thank you. We got 5.1, you got 5.2, and 5.10. I know these didn't go through the committee of the whole, so if there is some, certainly, even if you have small questions upon review. All right, with that, we'll move for approval, item 5.3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6, 5.7, 5.8, 5.9, and 5.11.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved from Berg, second from President Sandy. Seeing no further comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously.
Ken's here.
Yeah, let the record show Mr. Veen is also in attendance. So we got 5.1, 5.2, and 5.10, Ms. Storstad.
Yes. 5.1 is an ordinance that amends city code relating to the definition of canned cocktails.
All right, Mr. Gosted, give us the definition of canned cocktails.
It's a mixed drink or cocktail, the alcohol component of which is primarily composed of liquor that is premixed and packaged in a sealed metal can and contains more than 0.5% of alcohol by volume, but not more than 15% of alcohol by volume. I did a Westlaw search across all states. I came across one definition of canned cocktail from state of Iowa, and so I parroted that definition for our ordinance. And this was precipitated because the term canned cocktail was used for both the Albrecht softball field and I believe the Speedway. And so to put some context in what that means, we added that, and then that cascaded into some other changes that we're utilizing canned cocktails in other places that it needed to be within the entire alcohol licensing code. Then as I was taking a look at it, there were some other kind of cleanup language. You'll see that we've removed, there were some provisions that said alcoholic beverage, beer, and wine. Well, beer and wine is an alcohol beverage, so you're being duplicative. So we moved that language. It was more cleanup than anything else. So that's there's really nothing totally earth-shattering by the change other than to now include canned cocktails as a defined term under our alcohol licensing ordinances.
Any further questions?
Yes, I do.
Please.
So I noticed a majority of these people requesting to be able to serve canned cocktails have a Class 3 alcohol license. Is there any way that we can just kind of combine them so a Class 3 alcohol license just includes canned cocktails? I mean, we have Speedway. I think there are a couple, like the softball, has both. And so I guess I would like to see a code change to maybe just add canned cocktails to the Class 3 liquor license.
Well, I know our liquor license expert is Ms. Lundmark. So do you see any issues with that, or where are we at now with the Class 3 versus other classes that could cause an issue?
Mayor Baczynski, members of City Council, we have had a couple of conversations about that. Class 3 alcohol license is beer and wine only, and that allows for the malt-based canned beverages as well. And that fee is significantly less than any of the other classes of license that have hard liquor, with the exception of those specialty licenses. The Albrecht field is a Class 8.4 specialty only for that field. Same with the Speedway, that's a specialty only for the Speedway. It's not a typical Class 3 license. So if we wanted to add canned cocktails in, I think it would then be appropriate to look to a regular Class 3 that some of our other year-round places have. It would probably be appropriate to look at a change in fee then, because they're getting a lot more, almost the same ability as our hard liquor places.
Right. Except for they can only serve the pre-mixed ones, which are
Yeah.
usually, they're not that stiff.
Yeah,
So-
so our, a regular license holder would pay $3,895. per year for their license.
Mhm.
And a beer and wine pays $1,670.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite a bit of difference for the responsibility of having the hard liquor. So, I mean, we could look at a fee, maybe there'd be something in the middle if they wanted to. Now, some of those places may not want the added ability because they like the lower price on their license.
Okay.
So, but we could do some research if council would like us to.
Yeah, I guess I would just like to see a little bit of research done.
Okay.
But if that sounds good, look at the fee, see kind of maybe how many people are really interested in it. Because I know, there's like jail beers and cookies, there's not too many that just have a class 3.
Can maybe get some feedback from
Yeah.
those two and see if
Yeah.
there's interest in that.
We could reach out to those class 3 holders and get their input.
Okay.
This would be just our first reading on this ordinance change related to canned cocktails. Is that correct, Mr. Gosted?
It would be, and then in 2 weeks, it would be your final reading. It seems to me that if you're going to do a little bit of research, spend the time to do that, and we can always come back and make another amendment to the Class 3 provision and add canned cocktail and pass this one as is, and then if you get enough input or enough interest, you could look at the Class 3.
Okay.
good.
I move approval with as is, but I would like to see us look into it a little bit more though. So
Sounds good. We have a motion. Do we have a second? Got a motion from Osowski, second from Friedhoffs. President Sandy, please.
Yeah. Does it have to be a can? Are there not cocktails that are in bottles?
I guess it doesn't have to. I'm not a canned cocktail guy, so I don't know.
Right. So when we were talking about this as canned, to me it's something that's like jarred, whatever, right? Like in my mind, I was thinking that in terms of canning, like you can pickles, you have a canned cocktail. It might come in a tin can, it might come in a glass bottle, whatever. So I recognize that we asked specifically about canned cocktails, but should we just call it?
Do you want to add glass? We could just add glass, metal or glass.
I would call it, if you're going to do that, it would be a sealed container.
Yep, thank you. I would suggest we change it to some sort of sealed vessel.
Sealed cocktail container. And then add glass, metal or glass or plastic, I guess.
Yeah.
Any material that's sealed.
Shoebox.
Yeah, I don't want to make
Hopefully not cardboard.
cocktail just because like the buzz balls, like they come in like plastic containers, right? So
Right.
there's a bunch of assortment of.
So why don't we, should we approve it as is for tonight? And then
then-
we can work on that, maybe a secondary option for language if,
Yeah.
with that being said, for the second reading?
What I'm hearing is you want me to propose some language that would be more flexible than a metal can, to have a broader container.
More flexible in the language, not in the vessel.
Yes.
Okay. All right, any further discussion on, I think we beat this one into a square, but seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. More to come in 2 weeks.
5.2, application for property tax exemption of improvements for various commercial and residential properties.
All right, thank you.
yeah, I just have one question.
please.
It does state in here that the property has to be at least 25 years old, right?
I think Ms. Lazar would have that.
Right.
She used to sign off on all those.
There is an application in here that is not, the year built was 2002. So I guess I'm just kind of wondering why or how that qualifies. I mean, it's 24 years, but
So a residential property has to be 25 years of age or older. Commercial property does not have any age restriction on it. So
I'm looking at,
I think it's the Tollefson, Jordan
yeah,
and Timothy.
it's the Tollefson one that I'm looking at that was built in 2002. So I guess
you are correct. I would say that wouldn't qualify.
all right.
So
I motion approval on all of them except for Tollefson's.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Dana,
We can see if I can get a second first, then we'll have further comment. I got a second from Weigel.
we have to
Did you want-
recuse Dana.
Yeah, I need to be recused.
I motion
One of
that
my
Dana can
properties.
vote.
Second.
Okay, let's do that first then.
I don't want to vote.
Yeah, we got a motion to allow him to vote. I think the intention is to vote that down. Any further discussion on whether Dana should be allowed to vote or not? Seeing no further discussion, I'm assuming we're intending to vote this down. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right. President Sandy, it's unanimous. You're not allowed to vote on this item. We do have a motion, a second on the floor to move forward with approving all of these with the exception of the one that was listed by Ms. Osowski. Is that we have
Tollefson.
1632 Nordana Drive Circle? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously.
And 5.10, award the bid 2025-12, 2026 chemical requirements for water and wastewater treatment.
All right.
Yeah, I don't need a speech on it. So I guess I'm going to make my yearly motion once again to remove fluoride from our drinking water. Just a little update. The Secretary of Health and Human Services has directed the CDC to stop recommendation of adding fluoride to the drinking water and is encouraging other states to issue bans. So far in 2025, Utah and Florida have done statewide bans on adding fluoride to their water. From September 2024 to April 2025, there have been 62 communities providing water to over 9 million Americans that have banned or suspended fluoride being added. Fluoride is a dangerous neurotoxin and industrial waste, and it is linked to IQ loss in children, neurodevelopment disorders, bone fractures, and arthritis, and thyroid disease. And so I have no issues with the other chemicals, but I would like to make a motion that we remove fluoride from our drinking water.
And Mr. Gossett, I want just clarification. Would that need to be an agenda item? I think you're asking for approval of the chemical requirements, but not the fluoride. Is that correct? So I think I would take that as being linked to this agenda item and not need a separate agenda item. Is that a fair
I
assessment?
think it's sufficiently linked that the motion can be entertained.
Okay, we do have a motion then. Would that motion then to be to approve everything sans or to change only the fluoride portion of that?
I would like to not authorize the purchase of fluoride.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second on that? We got a second from Mr. Friedolfs. All right, any further discussion on that?
Yeah, real
Mr.
quick.
Friedolfs?
And so this may be the only thing I agree with Rebecca about all the time, but if you look at the research, right, the fluorosis, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but with the addition of a mouthwash and fluoride toothpaste and all this other stuff, you do get plenty of fluoride. And so if the fluorosis is causing darkening of the teeth, they're seeing a high uptick in that. And so a lot of people, even most people, drink reverse osmosis now, which actually eliminates completely the fluoride out of the water. And so they're still getting plenty of it through other means, whether it's at the dentist or through household means and toothpaste and mouthwash. So.
Okay, the only thing I would add is I think right now we have an ordinance that we have a gap that we have to apply 0.6 to 0.8, or is it 6 to 8 parts per million?
I believe it's 6 to 7.
So we would have an
0.6 to
ordinance on the
0.7.
books with no way to fulfill if the purchase wasn't made. So just to be aware of the context of that, there would have to be some further discussions and further actions if this does happen tonight.
All right. I move approval that we change the ordinance to
Well, that's going
remove
to
the
take,
fluoride.
that would take an agenda, a separate agenda item.
Okay.
So we can keep it, no, you can still move forward. And if that does happen, just so council is aware, we do have an ordinance that requires between 6 and 8 parts per million. So we wouldn't have the materials to fulfill that requirement. So we would have to follow up with an ordinance change on
Right.
that, just so
Right.
everyone's aware. Is that a fair assessment, Mr. Gosted, Mr. Getz?
That is a fair assessment.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? All right. Why don't we do a roll call vote, please? Maria, I know this was 4-3 last time. Similar.
Sure. Starting with Weigel,
No.
Wasowski,
Yes.
Berg,
No.
Lensky,
Yes.
Friedals,
Yes.
President Sandy,
No.
and Veen.
No.
Okay, that motion's
Motion
defeated
fails.
3-4.
I move
So
approval,
We
Mayor.
got a motion to approve the staff recommendation for 5.10. Do we have a second? Second from Berg. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
That motion passes 5-2 with Friedolfs and Osowski dissenting. All right, that's it for action items. I'll move on to item 6, information items. There are none. Item 7, approval of minutes and bills.
The vendor, 7.1 is the vendor list and engineer's estimate that's attached.
All right, do you have a motion to approve paying the bills?
So moved.
Motion from Ms. Berg, second from Vice President Weigel. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously.
And 7.2 minutes from December 15th.
All right, we got a motion to approve as is from Ms. Berg, second from Ms. Lunsky. Great job, even over the holidays, getting this done and up to date. Great work by the Finance Department, the award-winning Finance Department, once again. We got a motion to second. Seeing no further comment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimously. Item 9, City Administrator comments. Mr. Phelan, any comments this evening?
I will. Regarding the, Mr. Spicer did come up here and comment, so I'll provide some responses here if you don't mind. We did meet with Mr. Spicer along with a few others from Highway 81 last week. When I say we, Maureen Storstead, Samantha Bergen, and I from Finance. So we did have a meeting with them regarding the special assessments on specifically in the storm water pond and also the stormwater that we put on 27th Avenue North in anticipation of the first phase of the street being connected. So you did approve phase 1 of the stormwater pond on 10/16/23, and then most recently on 10/20/25, you approved phase 2. Special assessments along with the stormwater along 27th Avenue. So we did talk to them about that. There was discussion regarding whether now that Agristo owns that property, whether they should feel compelled to pay Highway 81, those adjacent property owners, their special assessments regarding the stormwater pond, and we let them know that there is nothing in our development agreement that would require them to do that. So we did tell those property owners that. We have also told Agristo that because there's been conversations with them also. So just so you know that we have followed up in that vein. The other thing that's come up is Mr. Danielson from the engineering department was not there. And so the other part of this, when we require, especially in a large plot that we're talking about with Agristo, you do have a stormwater permit for construction. And so you have to do various things with making sure that your stormwater is mitigated on the site so that you can about imagine there's lots of dirt and all those sorts of things that we don't want all of that going into our stormwater pond. So there are basically detention ponds that are mitigating stormwater from the construction site from going right into our stormwater pond. So that's part of what the requirements are. Some of those requirements are city requirements. Some of those are state of North Dakota requirements on a construction site. We also did set up, we have a meeting on this week on Wednesday, on January 7th with the similar group along with Christian Danielson. So we were going to go over some of the construction activities that are going along Highway 81. To include the stormwater, to include what's going on with the Agristo site, to include some of the things you approved tonight on Highway 81, the current water and wastewater improvements that we're putting on. So just so you know, we met on it last week. We're meeting on this week, and the information that we provide Highway 81 folks will also provide a city council, so you have some context that we are following up in sincerity with all the things that are going on out there. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that we continue to work on the Beacon project in the sense of we've been working with Oakview Group on the public plaza. And so we do intend to come back in January, February regarding a recommendation on the public plaza first, whether we think it's a viable idea. You know, we're concerned about not only the construction costs, we're concerned about the operation and maintenance and how we would pay for that. We're continuing to work on that with Oakview Group. Don't have a determination at this point in time. Secondarily, we talked about a 15-year pilot at 80% versus it's a 15-year 100% at a revenue bond. And right now the development agreement is not there because Epic's not there. So we're going to evaluate that too about whether that's a necessity, but that's the preliminary request. So I see that coming back in January, February. So we're working on that particular item. You recall you approved Latitudes by Enclave. And so we're continuing to financially review that project too. That was that 5-year 100%, and the city council still wanted a financial review. There's back and forth going on between those two entities. So more work to be done on that. So I would assume that would come in the January, February timeframe. All-True Sports Complex, things are tracking. We do anticipate bringing that back under phase 2. And also looking at the operation maintenance, and I would anticipate that coming back the last committee of the whole meeting in January for the first February meeting, which I think is February 2nd. So those are tracking. I think we're on a similar time frame. And then finally, the engineering department's been working well with the North Dakota DOT regarding the 42nd Street Demers Avenue underpass. And the North Dakota DOT has really been a great partner on it and taking the lead on it. And they are really doing everything they can to try to get that project bid in February of this year so that we can start construction this spring. So from the last I heard before the new year, that project is still tracking plus or minus. And so lots of exciting projects are coming our way, plus more that I haven't mentioned this evening. So I'll keep you updated on all the various things that are going on. So thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Mr. Phelan. Move on to mayor and council member comments. Ms. Osowski, any comments this evening?
Yeah, so I've had a few phone calls recently about local child rearing centers and home daycares, and I just think that it would be really appropriate if a lot of these issues were actually reported to the state, as they are the ones who issue the licensing and a majority of the funding. So, thank you.
I think you said learning instead of learning. I wonder where that came from. Well done. Well played. Ms. Berg.
No,
Any
thank you.
comments? None. All right. Ms. Lunsky, any comments? Mr. Friedhoff,
No, sir.
starting off the year well. Let's see here. Mr. Veen, any comments this evening?
No comments. Thank you.
All right. Council Vice President Weigel, please.
No, thank you.
President Sandy?
Just if the chief would hang on a minute afterwards, I have a couple questions for him after.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. No comments from me. Just welcome to 2026, everybody. Looking forward to a great year.
Adjournment.
Got to look for a motion to adjourn. Motion from, she wants to start the year
moved
off right.
adjournment.
We got a motion from Ms. Osowski. We got a second from anybody? Ms. Berg. We got it from Ms. Berg. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.
I got it in there, Dana.
Leering.
That was my.